Fly like an eagle, let my spirit carry me. Time keeps on slipping, slipping. Oh, hi. I'm just singing a song here. Wait a minute. I just said the word singing. Sing is the name of the movie that we're going to discuss today. Will it end up burning a stand ovation or will it screw up its audition? Cue the music. The story. Cue the musical plot. Dapper Koala, Buster Moon, presides over a once grand theater that has fallen on hard times. An eternal optimist and a bit of a scoundrel, he loves his theater above all and will do anything to preserve it. Facing the crumbling of his life's ambition, he takes one final chance to restore his fading jewel to its former glory by producing the world's greatest singing competition. 5 contestants emerge: a mouse, a timid elephant, a pig, a gorilla, and a punk rock porcupine. Although this film is not really a musical, it's only used as snippets to present the singing talents of the characters. Again, it's not about the songs, it's about the characters. The animation. Let's talk about how the animation created this song-filled movie. At the beginning of the movie, Buster is recalling his inspiration or epiphany for purchasing the theater and his passion for the performing arts while watching a play titled Epiphany. The character Nana Noodleman strongly resembles the anti-heroine Norma Desmond from the 1950 film Sunset Boulevard. Their butlers resemble each other as well. The opening scene where Buster Moon is narrating behind the desk is a homage to the opening scene in the 1996 film Jerry Maguire when Leigh Steinberg is sitting at his desk. The masks that Big Daddy and his gang use to hide their identity are a snowball from The Secret Life of Pets, which is another Illumination Entertainment film released on the same year as Sing. A fourth reference to Back to the Future is when Ash and Lance have their audition abruptly stopped. Not dissimilar from Marty's experience in the beginning of Back to the Future. When Mike the Mouse is playing near the bottom of the stairs at the beginning of the movie, the chimpanzee tosses him a penny. If you notice that there is no face on the coin, Mike makes a reference of having had attended the Lincoln School of Music. When Miss Crawley's false eye pops out and hits the computer keyboard, you can see Made in China printed on the back. Buster is left-handed as evidenced during the audition scene as he takes notes. Rural folklore has it that porcupines possess the defensive capability of shooting their quills as projectiles, as Ash did in her performance. No biologist has documented the behavior or any natural mechanism that would make it possible. The scene where Johnny is racing the getaway car to the theater is a parody of the 1968 film Bullitt. Nana Noodleman's car appears to be based on a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud. During the Feline News report, a logo identifies the broadcast as O News. That's the title of a reoccurring Hollywood news spoof in the 2007 self-titled TV series starring Sing actor Peter Serafinowicz. In fact, O News, which showcases his talent for impressions, is what led the BBC to offer him the Peter Serafinowicz show in the first place, after he made an inexpensive early version of the sketch and uploaded it to YouTube. Nod to the Johnny B. Good scene from Back to the Future from 1985. At the end of Ash's performance, she opens her closed eyes to see a completely quiet crowd. She is in the exact same pose as Marty McFly. This film marks the first CG film and second family film since Tooth Fairy from 2010 that Seth MacFarlane has been involved in. The characters. In the spotlight are talented singing characters. Buster Moon is an optimistic koala who sincerely loves showbiz after attending his first theatrical performance when he was young and was inspired to own his own theater and make his career in show business as a successful theater producer. Even when all odds seem to be against him, he looks for a silver lining in every cloud, no matter how unlikely or ridiculous gives it his all, but oftentimes his refusal to quit comes back to haunt him. He is voiced by Matthew McConaughey, who also voiced Beetle from Kubo and the Two Strings.
My next show is gonna be, drumroll please, a singing competition.
Either way, inside my thorax beats the heart of a warrior.
Then we have Rosita the pig, who is the devoted wife to his workaholic husband and 25 piglets. While she loves her family, she soon comes to a point where she feels she's in a rut and wants to be more than just a wife and mother, her love of singing persisting and wanting to take the chance she never got. She is voiced by Reese Witherspoon, who also voiced Serena the Swan from The Trumpet of the Swan, and Susan Murphy, aka Ginormica, from Monsters vs. Aliens. Mina is a sweet, timid, and soft-spoken teenage elephant with an amazingly beautiful singing voice. Despite her love of singing, she suffers from immense stage fright. She often covers the sides of her face with her ears whenever her shyness gets to her. There's also Ash the porcupine, who is a punk rocker at heart. Her passion for playing rock music causes conflict between her and her boyfriend Lance, causing her feelings for him to blind her to his massive ego. As a teenage rocker, she has her pride and a rebellious streak displayed by her sarcastic wit and a passive-aggressive defiance towards Buster's attempt to make her perform as a pop star princess. Johnny the gorilla is the son of a mobster who is expected to follow in his father's criminal footsteps, but his true passion is singing. During the singing competition, he takes every measure to keep his passion and his father's criminal activities apart. This causes tension for Johnny as he tries to commit himself to his ambition and the contest, and to his father's expectations, which inevitably go wrong due to his going back and forth between the contest as a getaway driver. We also have Mike the greedy and self-centered mouse with a Napoleon-style complex and who so happens to be a classically trained jazz musician with a voice like Frank Sinatra, who allegedly studied at the Lincoln School of Music. Driven by money, power, and the allure of beautiful female mice, Mike is constantly trying to be part of a crowd that doesn't want him, unless, that is, he can somehow win Buster's competition. He is voiced by Seth MacFarlane, who also voiced Ted the Teddy Bear from the Ted series and Brian Griffin from Family Guy. Mike the Mouse is largely based on Frank Sinatra, whom Seth MacFarlane often imitates. Sinatra was known for his short temper, style of dress, and apparent ties to organized crime, which are incorporated into Mike's character. He sings Sinatra's signature song, My Way, on the movie's soundtrack. The film's cast includes 3 Oscar winners, Jennifer Hudson, Matthew McConaughey, and Reese Witherspoon, and 3 Oscar nominees, John C. Reilly, Seth MacFarlane, and Wes Anderson. Director Garth Jennings' 4 sons, Oscar, Leo, Caspar, and Asa, provide the voices of some of Rosita's piglets. Garth provided the voice of Miss Crawley the iguana. Unlike in the 2004 film Shrek 2, where Jennifer Saunders did her own singing voice for the fairy godmother, she did not do so for Nana Noodleman, whose singing voice was done separately by Jennifer Hudson. The film features over 85 hit songs from the 40s to 2016. Songs associated with 3 different artists who died in 2016 are on the movie's soundtrack. Wake Me Up Before You Go Go, dedicated to George Michael, Hallelujah, dedicated to Leonard Cohen, and Under Pressure, dedicated to David Bowie and Queen. Director Garth Jennings is an admirer of jazz vocalist Shuby Taylor and chose to have his song Stout-Hearted Men included in the film. The song was sung by a hippo during the audition scene. Taylor suffered a stroke in 1994 and passed away in 2003. Jennings revealed that Taylor's son was in his 70s and just above the poverty line and hoped the check for rights to the song from Universal would be beneficial to him. The movie is dedicated in the credits to Igor Kate, an animation producer in the movie who died from pancreatic cancer during production. This is Taron Egerton's first time working on an animated feature. Singing is something he loves and is highly skilled at. Johnny Depp and Jesse Eisenberg were all considered for the role of Buster Moon. Owen Wilson was considered for the role of Eddie Noodleman. This is Nick Kroll's first PG-rated movie, his second later being Captain Underpants, the first epic movie from DreamWorks Animation. Previous films of his had been rated PG-13 or R. This is the first time that 2 Illumination films have been released the same year. The Secret Life of Pets was released 5 months before this movie. At 110 minutes long, this is Illumination Entertainment's longest film. The first Illumination Entertainment film not to feature any humans, and the 7th feature film. The 4th animated movie of 2016, next to Kung Fu Panda 3, the Angry Birds movie, and Zootopia, to be set in a world of anthropomorphic animals and no humans. This film beat My Big Fat Greek Wedding from 2002 as the highest grossing film to never hit number 1 at the US box office. It was released on home media a whole week before the 20th birthday of Cats Don't Dance from 1997, a fellow animated movie about anthropomorphic animals who can sing and dance. For the end credits, let's see what song playing on this radio should accompany.